So, okay, now a question that actually came in from the Discord is how can we do combos and actually combing the attack. For example, you can attack once and then go on to a second attack and so on and so on, which sits perfectly with what we should fix next, because as you can see, we do have the animation events, the animation event errors that coming in, that it can find the functions or the methods that we want to call. Okay, so we're going to take on this part and we're going to see how we can work with animation events and the other things, the other cool things we can do with them. So let's go on to Safari set, and we already have our animator hook here, which we're going to go and add some methods we will be calling through the animator events. Okay, we can collapse this, we don't really care, and then we can say we need a few public methods. First of all will be open damage collider, then public void close damage collider, and then we can add a few more things. For example, we could just say public void enable combo. We should be passing another string or another method here. For example, let's just say anim ID or something. Okay, and then you can say you can execute combo, and so on and so on and so on. We'll see that later. So we do have this, but where do we assign these methods? Okay, this is not the first time we've seen this, but if you are following through the, if you are coming from any of the refactors, you might have not seen it, so I'm going to cover it either way. So if you select an object that has an animator controller, here's the thing, because this is, our model is set as optimized game object, we can actually edit it right on the controller, but we can go onto the animations themselves and change them. And in this case, we actually want the attack animations though, so we want some of these. Okay, so this will be your animation. It's not going to preview right now, I think. Yeah, it's not going to preview from here, which is a bummer, to be honest. And probably Unity should do something about this, because it's really silly. But you can see that, let's say, while the player is here, you should probably open the collider. This is at frame 21. So you can just go on 21 here, add an animation event, and we need to name the method. In this case, that will be open damage collider. Okay. Let's make sure this is actually the case. Okay, and then we want close damage collider. We need to find again where, on which animation we should close it, probably 27. Oops, that's the samples. We want this, the frames, not the samples. Add an animation event, and this will now close the damage collider. Okay, so let's say we wanted to add a combo, and going from this, so if you're pressing something, okay, let's say, or actually we could just go, if you're pressing any button from here to here, or until you're back on your feet, it will go onto a second attack instead of a first attack. So let's see. Let's add frame 9 or 10. Let's add another animation event. And I'm going to go on to my scripts. I'm just going to delete the string for now. I'm going to say enable combo. And maybe after this, we can disable combo over here. Okay, so now we have one attack, but I'm just going to go. Yeah, I actually don't know which attack I'm using. So let's see our data. Item actions, attack action. Okay, good sword. Let's take a look on to our animator. Yeah, okay, we're using the 100 attack. Okay, we're going to use that. So let's say I don't really want my animator hook to handle opening and closing the damage colliders. I'm just going to handle that through the character state manager. So I'm going to add a public. Well, actually, it should go through the weapon. So let's collapse all of this, and I'm going to do public void handle damage collider bool status. Okay, so if status equals false, else. So if we are going to close this, do we have a weapon? Okay, so we don't know with which weapon we're actually attacking at this moment. So we should probably store that. Let's see what we have inside our weapon holder. Okay, let's just load our weapons. Okay, so we need to know which actually item we're playing. So let's see where we're calling this. On the attack action, okay. So from here, we're going to be storing which weapon we're actually using. So let's make a method. Assign current weapon. Okay, let's do weapon item, weapon. Let's go on the top. Let's make this a private weapon item, current weapon in use. So current weapon in use equals weapon. On the attack state action then, where is it? On the attack action, we can also do character states, assign current weapon, item action container, dot action name is, oh damn, yeah, that's not going to work as well. We need to go even further back. Item action container. And even further back. Yeah. Play target item action. Going back. Okay, and we're here. We have the attack input. We don't know which. Damn it. Play target item action, you get the item action container, but here we don't store on the item action container, we don't actually store which weapon we have. So that means when we are assigning on the item action container, we actually need the actual item itself, which means public item item actual. So when we are assigning this, the item action, which is here, it's going to be default item action dot item actual item actual. Then copy this down here. Will be this, and we also need it for the left hand, I believe, which is down here, left item, and copy this and paste it here. Okay, so we can get this now, the item actual, on the attack action, and we can just do assign current weapon, item container, item actual. It's going as an item. Yeah, okay, we need to set this as a weapon. We need to cast it as a weapon item. It's going to be an item, otherwise it's not going to be in here, so we can cast this as an item. Okay, so we are assigning then our current weapon, and we want on the weapon now, the weapon itself, let's find the weapon itself, weapon item. Okay, we have the model prefab. We do want the actual hook for the weapon. I don't think we have created it yet. Yeah, we haven't. Let's see, item actions, items, yeah, weapon holder hook. Not weapon model. Let's see, where do we place this? Left hand and right hand. Yeah, no, we do want to create a weapon hook. So let's do that. Weapon hook. Let's open this up. Let's add our new namespace. Let's delete all of this. And well, basically we do need the controller for this, the collider or the damage collider for this, and let's just keep it as a game object. Damage collider, and then on start or on awake, whatever you need. We can, yeah, we don't actually have a damage collider script that it can tell us that this game object is a damage collider. So for now, let's just do public void damage collider status. Bool status, so that will be damage collider dot set active status. Okay, and this can actually be private if we are using start to populate this. So on the weapon hook, however, we want to go on the weapon item. This will be a public weapon hook. Weapon hook. This is a runtime. This is a runtime reference, however. Okay. But, well, since this is a runtime reference, here's two things that we need to do, or well, actually one thing. This will be system non-serialized. Because this is a scriptable object, we don't really care to have serialized the weapon hook out this. So where do we populate this? When we instantiate the model, over here we can do weapon item dot weapon hook model get component weapon hook, which in turn is going to come onto our character states, and depending on the status you're going to have to say current weapon in use dot weapon hook set damage collider status. So that means you don't need any of this, you can just do it like this. Now if there is any chance that current weapon in use is null, just return, because we also have the unarmed. We also have the unarmed, which we're going to have to handle it a little bit different. So, okay. Now, onto our weapons, onto our prefabs for the weapons, that is. Let's find them. We need to assign on the prefab a weapon. Yeah, we already have this, but this is not the correct weapon hook. This is from the old refactor. So we're going to have to assign a weapon hook. And yeah, that's a bummer. Let's drag and drop it from this. Obviously, if you don't have the previous scripts, this is not going to be a problem. But for me, as you can see, it is. Okay, so this will now have a damage collider. I'm just going to assign this. I don't know what this. It does have a damage collider script, but it's from the old. It's before the refactor, so you know I'm going to delete that. Okay, good enough. So one way to test this is actually, let's go back to our weapon item, to our greatsword, to a prefab, and I'm going to disable it by default. I'm going to disable the collider. Okay, and then I'm going to enable gizmos on this, and I'm going to hit play. I will select the farthest set, however, or better yet, I'm going to go onto the left hand. Let's find this. Yeah, okay. So we're going to see it over here. And we actually saw nothing. And we did show nothing because we forgot to assign this on the animator hook. We forgot to say that's the old one. Character state manager, weapon hook, that's the new one. Output manager, okay. Let's find our animator hook. Open damage collider, states dot damage collider, handle damage collider, status will be true. This will be false. Hit play. Okay, now we have a damage collider open, which means we could technically start doing damage to that other guy, but not just yet. We do have a lot of things to do for this. So yeah, actually, let's just keep moving. This animation, the animation event for disable combo, yeah, we can eliminate that error if we just make this as a disable combo here. And now we're going to get into a little bit of a different territory. As you've seen, with our attacks, when we are playing an attack action, we're basically going through an item action container which plays some string name. Okay. Here's the thing. here's what we can actually do. Maybe we can just do a public string animation name 2. Or, well, okay, the correct way to do this will be to have an array over here, and when you're executing this action, oops, or well, let's handle all the errors. Okay, we are also going to be passing an index, public integer index, or anim index. By default, this is just going to be 0, of course. Okay, so this is going to be playing this. Now, after you play this animation, we can just say anim index plus plus plus. If anim index is higher than the anim name dot length, anim index, set this to 0, and we also need higher than the length and -1. Okay, so the next time you're going to come through here, we're going to be playing a different animation, or the next animation in the chain. Maybe it's not going to, yeah, maybe if it doesn't have any other animation, it's going to still play the same one. Now, the other thing I want to do is public void handle down handle combo. Okay, so on the current weapon in use, actually no, not on the current. Okay, action container, I see, current item action. One more thing. Okay, so pass the item container here, and we have them stored right now. So back to the character state manager. For handle combo, if current item action is not null, anim index is going to be 0. So disabling the combo is going to trigger this. So it's not going to keep playing the next animation. Back to handle combo, or back to the animator hook, which I've actually, let's pin this and pin this as well. Weapon hook, okay, and state manager probably. So disable combo, it's going to go to states.handle combo, or disable combo, I guess. Execute combo is going to be slightly trickier. We can handle this. But for now, you know what? Let's disable the, let's deactivate the disable combos just so that we can see it working. Which means we can now go on to our weapon items, onto our great sword, and I'm just going to keep one action because it's a chore to, you know, handle all of this, and that will be for the right bumper. Let's do OH attack 1. Let's do OH attack 2. And you know what? Let's do 3. And let's add the final one. Let's make it as 200 attack 1. So let's see this in action. Because we're never resetting the anim index, and actually, I think I think we also have an issue with this. So are these assigned or not? Now, okay, let's check. Let's see what we have onto our player controller. Okay, first of all, let's add it on the right hand as well. Let's add the greatsword on the right hand and remove the left one, just to make sure it's not something with our inputs. Okay, so now that doesn't actually work. And it can find the state, but we don't know which state it refers to for target anim. So let's do a debug.log target anim. Oh yeah, I know why. Because we have it as attack of using the animator name, the animation names instead of the state names. That's why we had that issue. So this can be attack 1. This can be th attack 1. And the other one can just be punch 1. Okay. So our logic was correct. We just used the wrong IDs. Okay. The next time I'm going to attack. And the third time I'm going to attack, I'm playing different animations. So this is next animation. Okay. So that means let's get rid of these animated events because they are annoying. Let's see. Let's close all of this. All animations, attacks, all of this. This one is correct. Okay, so that should cover the old animation events. Okay, so disable combo now. If we bring it back on the disable combo from the animator hook, that is, because we already have it on the character state manager, it's going to be resetting that index. Okay, so whenever you are running this, that means if you have enough time and you won't be able to, yeah, so you basically run out of time, it's going to reset back to the first animation. So the real question now is, how do you know that if you press from that time to that other time, if you press another button, then it's going to move on to the next animation instead of playing the, yeah, it's going to play the next animation instead of doing, yeah, what we have right now. So that's easy to know, well, sort of easy. We're going to do a public void handle combo or check for combo prompt. Okay. And well, we could just do public bool has combo. Obviously this is not combo, it's not really combos like you see in Street Fighter or whatever, obviously. Okay, so if has combo, then we already have the execute action, item action, from the item action, which in this case is the attack action, which in this case is going to assign again the current weapon action. It's going to play the target animation. It's going to move on to the next animation indexed. Okay. So it's going to circle around. Now. Okay. So, oops. So now we need to know when we basically add the hash combo. We're going to set this false. When we are turning this to true. Okay. For this to happen, we do need to know that it's triggered. So public bool can do combo now, and it's going to happen here. States combo equals false here, and execute combo is going to go states to check for combo prompt. So it's going to be playing the next animation if you have pressed, while this is active, if you have pressed the animation to, if you have pressed a key or any of the attack keys, then it's going to prompt this. But here's the thing. If you are attacking, and let's see, input manager, the input manager is inside a state action. So we first need to see when we are actually running the input manager. We are running it on the locomotion, but we're not running it inside the attack state. Okay, that's kind of important right now. So we need to start decoupling this, the input manager. Yeah, we do need to decouple this. So, handle attacking. Is attacking equals true? Yeah, this needs a little bit of more thinking, but let's make it a little bit dirty, and we'll see if we have problems. Maybe we'll fix this later. Let's find the Solution Explorer first. So over here, inside my actions, I'm just going to say weapon or inputs on attack false. So on our input manager, we do have a few things that we can actually use, but we only need these 4 things. Okay, which means we also need this. So let's put this on a vertical tab and start copying things. Okay, let's start with these 4, with these 5. Okay, then inside the execution, do this. Okay, then attack. So all of this will now have an attack input assigned as well. But so if you press any of these, let's bring this back, because we need a constructor, inputs on attack. But let's see, do we have this? How do we store it onto the first input manager? Yeah, we store it as a player state manager, which is okay. Player states. Awesome. Then states dot check has combo equals true, but only if states dot can do combo. So let's say if can do combo equals false, return. If you can't do any combos, then you don't need any of this. Return false for this. Okay. So we can, I guess we can rename this inputs for combo. And because we did rename that, we also need to rename the file as well, inputs from combo. Okay, so this will only be running on the state that checks for combos. Let this rename. And once we are done with this, we can actually test this. And once Visual Studio stops being a jerk, that will be lovely. So, input manager, let's find our Solution Explorer once again. And it did corrupt the entire file, I guess. Damn it. It is. So now we do need to have to assign this onto a state, which of course in this case is going to be our player state manager, and our locomotion has the inputs from combo and just pass this state manager. Okay, onto the state. So save that and let's go back onto our player controller. You can see the can do combo tick here. Okay, so when I hit play, I'm going to attack once and I'm going to attack second, but the hash combo didn't run. It did stay open because I pressed it while I was attacking, while the can do combo was enabled, but it didn't run because we actually never we're never calling this the execute combo from inside the run. Oh, it's attack one. Okay, let's see. We have our enable combo, we have our open damage collider, we have our close damage collider, we have our disable combo, which I'm just going to move towards the end because we don't really care, and we only need the execute combo, which I'm just going to randomly place, to be honest. You can tailor that as much as you want. Okay, so this will run now and it's going to execute the combo. So I'm going to select that, can do combo, has combo, and as you can see, it moves on to the next animation. The only thing that we haven't yet done, yeah, we're doing this from here. We do need to change this from here. Let's change state ID, and this will be from the character. Okay, so we do have one small issue. There's not a state with a target ID. Why that is? Tag state ID, but on your input manager, what do you have? Oh, you're taking it from the player stage. Tag state ID. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to make this virtual. Okay, then I'm simply going to cut this, then on the player stage, and paste this entirely here. We already have the state, the attack ID, attack state ID, current item action. We don't have the current item action though because it is private. So in order for us to be able to access it from the child class, we simply okay, so we can now access it from on the child class. If it was just private, then you will be able to access it from you wouldn't be able to access it from any child class or any other top class, just from the yeah, so I pressed the wrong button, so we had an issue. Okay, so now it does play correct. Because we don't have the animation events, as you see here, we are not really able to do the combo or the hash combo until we're going back to the correct one. So I'm not resetting them, I mean. That is because the animations don't actually have the events. That's what's missing from our code. Okay, it's not really a problem with this, with our code. So to fix those as well, you just need to add some animation events, but we can do one small thing. If we go on the override layer, we could just create a behavior for this. So we can say on enter disable combo. Or you know what? Let's leave this for now. Let's go onto the voxels. Let's go onto the locomotion state. Let's handle it differently. So on the locomotion state, on enter, we have disable combo variables because we already have the same name. And on enter, locomotion, disable combo variables. So when you are going back to the locomotion state, it's going to basically disable the, it's going to disable this, the variables that stay open. So even if we don't have assigned the animation events, technically it should work correct. Okay, so I'm attacking. I'm going to attack next. Oh, yeah. So that actually gave us a problem because we're going back to the locomotion state faster than we actually, unless instead of doing this here, unless if we do it inside the attack state, so it resets them. Unless that's going to work better. Let's see. Yeah, that actually did do the trick. It did, but it didn't reset the index. It did reset the can do combo and the has combo. So now the question is, where do we reset that index? If we were doing it here, then I think this will force it so we're only attacking once or twice. Yeah, we're only attacking with the same animation. So that's not what we can do, and as you can see, it does go onto a loop. No. Okay. So the other thing is we can just check when did we last attack. That's not really ideal either. Anyway, you know what? Let's leave it as it is because I'm kind of can't think of right now how we should handle this. Well, actually, you know what? I don't really care because you should add animation events onto your animations. So that's on you if you don't. It's not on the code. So yeah, not to do that error. Okay, so we're going to leave it as it is at some point. I don't know when, but that's the plan. Then consider supporting me on Patreon so we can keep making a lot more of these. One more thing, because I don't have attack actions on the left bumper and so on, if you did the same thing as me and you press the left bumper, then you might get stuck because now I'm stuck. I can't actually change the state. Okay, keep that in mind. So, as always, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and if you like to see more stuff like this, consider supporting my Patreon so we can keep making a lot more of these. I'll see you next time.